There comes a time in every life, time to stand your ground, time to fight. And some you win, some you lose. You can't just walk away. A lesson learned in blood, the highest price to pay. Raise your glass to 100 years of freedom. Raise your glass to the men who took the fall. Raise your glass. Give thanks for this country. There's a generation never coming home. An English curse.
Paulie, I'm going to stop it there only because an awesome song. We have been playing it non-stop since you gave it to us, a week and a half ago?
Yes.
It's brilliant. We love it. So it's one of our favourite soundtracks over in Aussie and Kiwis for Anzacs.
Well, people have really seemed to have taken it to heart, and I really appreciate all the beautiful comments we've had. Thank you so much.
No, you wrote the soul. You guys produced it, wrote it, whatever. It's amazing. We love it. But when we started doing the lives and doing sort of some bonus ones and talking to different things, I got this message saying Paulie wants to talk. What do you want to talk to us about today, Paulie?
Oh, well, I was just actually sitting there in Young Jay, but I thought, well, look, I've been really loving all the stories that people have been telling about their Anzac heritage. And so I don't know if you want me to tell you about the song, how that came about, or if you want a bit of a story about the band, or I wasn't sure what you wanted to talk about. But, yeah, have you got any thought? Is there a specific question here, Tia? Or
well, I'm pretty good at talking. It's one of those, when they do the skills test and you've got to, identify your strengths.
Yeah.
I'm a great talker. So,
Okay.
So we're not worried about that one. I think if you can tell us about this, where the origins of the song, because we've just played a bit of it, and I'll put the whole song up at the end.
No worries.
If you want to tell us about where the song came from, and then I heard little bits about the story about the Lone Pine guitar. So I'd like to hear about that one. So tell us about the song first.
Okay, so the song "Raise Your Glass" actually sort of came as a bit of a flood. Now, Chris and I, Chris is my band partner from Simply Bush. So when you see the film clip, the tall, handsome fella in the clip, that's my mate Reegsy, and we write most of our songs together. But one of us invariably starts the songs, and this is one that I sort of had pop into my head, and that was as a result of a conversation. I was driving along with my youngest daughter, who is she'll be 25 in July, and we were driving along it was actually after the 100th anniversary of Gallipoli, and she said, "Dad, you guys haven't written an Anzac song. You should write one. There's that thing about Raise Your Glass. I reckon that'll make a good Anzac song." And from that moment, most of the song was there pretty quickly. I sort of tend to write things by putting it into the phone, and I sent that over to Chris, and he came back with a couple of ideas and backwards and forwards. And by that night, before we even picked up a guitar, most of the song was written, Tia. And it's been a really special song because it's a song that was kind of gifted. It was not a difficult song to write. It sort of came very quickly and very easily to us, and so that's always a good sign. And the way people respond to the song is equally beautiful. And it was not by intention, but as a beautiful natural response. When we first started playing it in public, people would actually physically raise their glass. And I remember the first time that I became aware of that, I was sort of in the moment of the song. I looked up and everybody was standing with their glass, and it hit me like a physical like it was like a wall. It was like when you perform, any artist will tell you that there's an energy that is exchanged between the audience and the musician, and that's a real thing. And that happened big time when the first time I saw people actually raising their glass, and it was very, very emotional.
I suppose it's one of those moments where you don't really know how people are going to react, and so the nerves and the butterflies, you're sort of doing your song, and you're really focused on that. But to look out and see people doing that would have just been, left you speechless, except you're in the middle of a song.
Well, absolutely, Tia. When you write a song, we tend to write. We don't make up stories, for songs. Chris is kind of does that from time to time, but we're more. I'm a songwriter that writes about things that happened, and so, it's actually a matter of truth when you put something together like that. I don't know where I was going with my point. I'm sorry.
No, well, you're still a storyteller, but there are. It's like when you write a book. You've got your true stories and you've got your fiction. Your make-up stories, and songwriting is the same. So you're writing from your experience, and it's
an honesty thing. That's what people like. I think that's what people like about Simply Bushed, and that response is very, very real and very honest. Oh, that's what I was going to say. When you write a song, you're absolutely right in that. When you write a song, oftentimes it is exposing a little bit of your soul, whether you want to do that or not. A good, honest song should come from somewhere, a point of real honesty. And so, if you're game enough to sort of share that, and then people do respond to that, that is a wonderful thing. That's where I was. Sorry,
a little bit of vulnerability never goes astray, and it does. That's the key that makes people connect to your music and want to hear it again and go, oh, okay, so it's not just me. There's other people out there that understand and are feeling that as well. So it's beautiful when they connect. And Alex, how many of us have we've all been to the club or a service or whatever, when they've all stood up and been proud and raising your glasses and Aussie tradition. So that's it connects with everyone. So which is pretty amazing and pretty special. Now, you were talking about you went to Egypt. Why did you go to Egypt?
Yes, so the boys in the band and myself, Chris, myself, Hugh, the fiddle player, Charlie came with us, a different bass player, and he's a mate of ours who's been in the band off and on over the years. And I think it was Nico, our old drummer, came with us, and we got invited to perform for the troops over in the Middle East in the Sinai. So we flew into the South Camp of Sinai, and we stayed there, and then we got flown in a military plane, a Czechoslovakian military plane, and up to North Camp. We were supposed to drive in a bus, but there had been 2 buses blown up just previous to when we got there. So they flew us up in this big military plane, and we spent 4 days in North Camp, and we did 2 shows. We did one for the whole camp, and then we did one. There's about 55 or 56 Aussies and Kiwis there, so we did one concert just for those guys, and we did one concert for the whole camp, which is about 1,600 people. And it was an amazing thing. And the story, a couple of things happened. Chris and myself, with our acoustic guitars, we're sponsored by a company called Maton, and they're a beautiful Australian-made company. And so one of the luthiers there is a great mate of mine called Andy Allen. He's a great fellow, and he builds guitars in the custom shop there. And I was with him one time down in the shop there, and he said to me, he built this guitar, which he got given some timber, which was from the lone pine tree, which was grown from pines that came back from Gallipoli and were grown at the Shrine of Remembrance in Victoria. And a part of the tree broke away and was given to Andy, and he made a beautiful guitar called the Lone Pine Guitar. And that guitar is now in the Shrine of Remembrance in Melbourne. With its own certificate. And what Andy said to me was, he said, if you're ever going on a military trip, come and get this guitar. I'll take it with you because I want the guitar to have a military heritage of some sort. And so he gave me this guitar to take to Egypt, which we did do, and we performed with it. And he also asked me to let soldiers play it, you know. So I've got heaps of photos on my phone of serving soldiers playing this thing, and all of them were in awe of this guitar, you know. And on the last night, all of us, you know, we'd made friends with various people, and you know, I ended up sitting in this thing called the Billabong, which is the rec area for the Aussies. And with the Lone Pine guitar, we sat up all night until the sun came up playing guitar. And, you know, I sang song for them after song after song. And that was after the concert. And we just had a great night. But in the morning, what happened was all the soldiers, a number of the officers, about probably 10 of them, gathered around me, 10 of the Aussies in particular. And they presented me with this, which is actually a slouch hat belonging to a guy called Warrant Officer Des McCoy. And they then went through, and this is the Australian Infantry badge on the front. It's got the rising sun on the side. He went and explained to me the pleats and what they meant, and all the aspects of the slouch hat, you know, and how it connects back to our history and military history. And so, we then got to have dinner with a general, a guy by the name of General Orm, and he said that was, you know, for a soldier, and this was a warrant officer, who a big guy. Des McCoy's a big bloke. And it was all instigated by their RSM, who's a guy called Darren Vallely, who's still my mate. And that's just a great honour. And so that lives in my office on the wall. It's one of my most proud possessions, and I feel very honoured to have it. I guess it was a gift to the whole band, but it was given to me, so it lives with me.
Well, fair enough. You know, sometimes you got to share it around, but like you said, it was given to you. So that's amazing. And there's been a few really cool comments. So you'll be able to have a look at those later. Okay. Things like, you know, that's magic. How special is that guitar? That's from Judith. Hi, Judith. And Trev, who's coming on next week. Yeah,
for those who are interested in the guitar, Tia, there's something very special. And when you see a soldier standing with his gun, and people will see this on Anzac Day with their gun pointing to the ground, it's called reverse resting arms, or resting reverse arms. So when the rifle points to the ground, that's a tribute to the fallen. And so on this guitar, at the bottom of the guitar, it has an inlay of an Australian soldier with his gun at reverse resting arms, so that he's got his gun pointing to the ground and he's looking down. It's the most beautiful guitar.
Wow. No, that is amazing. And that was about sort of 6 years ago. But you haven't always played for Anzac, have you? You sort of, at some stage in your life, you blended into the crowd.
Well, yeah, look, I've been going to the dawn services since I was a young bloke with my grandfather, he served in the Second World War. And when we went to Egypt here, he served in a place called El Arish, which was only 40 kilometres as the crow flies from where I was in the Sinai in the North Camp. So I mean, you can't go to El Arish anymore because it's a very dangerous place to be. But it was amazing to know that was where my grandfather served, you know. But it was amazing. It's been an amazing privilege to do that.
Wow. Well, you've got some amazing stories, and thank you for sharing them with us. But I did have a rumor that you had something else that you wanted to share with us that wasn't just one of your stories. Jace asked me, like, people have been playing music, and I'm not going to play Raise Your Glass tonight because you've got the film clip there, and I would like to say that for Anzac Day. What I would like to tell people is that myself and my mate Chris, and Chris is literally one of my best mates on the planet, and he's a great fella, and he and I will be we're getting together here, socially distanced appropriately 1.5 meters apart. But we're going to get together here and play live on Anzac Day from 11 a.m. for until people get sick of us for a little while, you know. But at dawn, as part of your dawn service, Anzacs and Kiwis for Anzacs, Aussies and Kiwis for Anzacs, I have been preparing what I'm going to be doing for our dawn service. And I live in a rural area at the back. Yeah, not very far from you, as a matter of fact. I know.
Spectrum, would you believe? And so what I'm going to do for Anzac Day is I'm going to get out there at 5 to 6, and I'm going to play as loudly as I can the last post. And I'm going to have it, hopefully, I'd love it if you could even hear it from your place, mate. So that's what
not with a bugle, though.
No. I'm playing it on a Fender Telecaster, which a Fender Telecaster, which I've had for many years, and a lot of my friends know, a lot of our fans know. It's this guitar here. So
Okay.
Did
you find your pick? Are you going to give us show us what you're going to do?
I can give you a little bit of a run, sure.
Yeah. Well, you've got to practice it. Make sure you've got it right.
But if you do live in the Wallandilly and you're about the place, I hope this is nice and loud, and I hope you can. Can you hear that? Okay.
I can. Yep.
Right, no worries. So at 5 to 6 on Anzac morning, you'll hear something like this around Wallandilly. Or something like that. Anyway.
Sounded pretty good to me. I'm thinking in another time and place, we would have heard you at the local pub with that one.
Well, I've never learnt it properly before. I've only been learning it for this Anzac Day for this service. I've not played it at a gig before. I've not played it anywhere. I loaded the music down, downloaded the sheet music, and I've just been cracking it up because there is no way. I love this movement that you guys have started because I can't envisage allowing this rubbish to steal Anzac Day from us. It's just not happening while my ass is pointing south. So that's what I want to do, and I've let my neighbours know, and I hope they appreciate it. I live in a wonderful little area, and I don't think anyone's going to object to it. And I can hear from the station when the train goes past, so I'm hoping that my neighbours over there will hear something wafting through the valley.
Yeah, 100%. And let's hope so. I did a little letterbox drop on my street today as well. So just to let my neighbours know, not that I'll be making any noise, but that we will be standing on our driveway and that I've invited them to stand on theirs as well, which is awesome. There you go. Courtney says, absolutely.
Please share this on the live stream, and I'll have it. I'll be doing that on our Simply Bushed Facebook live stream. So I'll actually be playing that, our last post, as the start of our own Simply Bushed commemoration. You're more than welcome to share it here. I hadn't organised it with you guys. So it will be online, people, and that's not, obviously with you guys we're doing what you're doing. I'll have my app going, and I'll be certainly taking part in what you guys are doing. I've told all of my neighbours, I've invited them all out if they want to come and listen. So I'm very much been promoting what you guys are doing. I've been doing interviews all over Australia for it, and really I believe in what you guys are doing strongly.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it was disappointing when we heard that there wouldn't be services this year, but we all understand the importance of not doing that this year. But it's too big a tradition. It's an Aussie thing. It's too big a tradition to let pass. So it's I'm super proud to be part of creating this driveways thing and being part of people across the country that are going to do this so that Anzac Day is not forgotten.
Yeah, absolutely. Stoked. I'm really proud to be part of it. And I'm really proud of Australians for going, nah, you're not taking it from us. We're going to do something. And I love Australians for that very reason, mate. We're all stuck somewhere and we're all going, well, can't do it that way. How are we going to do it? And it's going to be magnificent. I'm really pleased.
There has to be another way, doesn't there? I envision that a few of the old diggers may actually get in a car and go for a drive and just see everyone standing out the front. That would just be amazing because, in Picton where we are, in Picton they normally have, the cars leaded in with the oldest guys and, they all do the drive through to instead of marching nowadays. Those that can do, but those that can't are in the car. So I can just imagine any of the diggers across Australia that, you know, that have someone that can take them for a drive are just going to be blown away. So, which will be awesome. I've been seeing some. Cassie, we'll get back to that. You can contact Simply Bush about his shirt.
Let's just go to our website. Absolutely, they're on the website.
Oh, they are. The website's in the comments as well, so you can work that one out. Now, back up here somewhere, I think that we have somebody who wants to crash our photobomb, our little chat. So
yeah, cool.
before I put your song back on for everyone to enjoy and say thank you very much, here's Justin.
Justin. There he is.
There he is. Justin.
Brother.
How are you, mate?
Oh, mate, I'm great. I'm tired, but I'm really good. My heart is overflowing, mate.
Good. How's the preview? Did that come across all right, mate?
Came across beautifully, mate. I've been sitting here putting the comments up on the screen, watching you from the green room.
Good on you. Good on you. No, I was just saying I'm really pleased to be today. I think it's pretty.
While he was silent, he was making lots and lots of noise.
All good, guys. Well, thanks very much for having me on tonight. Hey.
Absolutely. Mate. Thank you.
I'm really enjoying seeing, like, I'm checking out a lot of people's stories. I've read some amazing poems on the site. I saw a beautiful painting by, I think the lady's name was Rebecca, and it had a horse with the soldier that had to, as a result of having to shoot the horses. And, there's been some really cool, amazing stories and stuff. So I'm really enjoying being part of it, mate. It's really, really beautiful. Good on you.
That's awesome. So we're loving it as well. Like we feel like we're curators of an online museum of a sort. All the stories, the history that's coming through, and the outpouring of love. It's phenomenal. Yeah, it's phenomenal. One of the best experiences of my life.
Oh, that's beautiful, mate. Hey, on a far less important and critical thing, can I just say, see that Sarah Rieger girl there that's commenting?
I need to put my glasses on to see.
Right.
Sarah Rieger is Riggsy. He's my mate who I've been talking about. Chris, that's his bride. That's Sarah, his wife.
All right.
So that means Sarah's probably on there, and Chris is probably listening as well. Because I did tell Chris would be on here. I was going to have a chat with you guys. So
is Sarah a muso?
No, she's not.
Get her on the triangle, mate. You can't stuff up.
You can call me a sexist, but we're a strict no-girl band. We're a blokes band. I'm sorry. I love girls. Don't get me wrong. Well, girls are my favourite things. But, my favourite things.
Now,
I've got 3 daughters and a granddaughter and a beautiful bride. So I do like
the girls, Paul, because the girls are your biggest cheerleaders. It's through your mum and your sister that I even knew that your band existed. So the girls are your biggest, they're your marketing.
Yeah, well, my mum and my sister have been great supporters all for years. They love the band. It's good.
Yeah. No, they do. Okay. Now, were you going to tell us?
Before we play the song, I'm going to have to do a quick check if there's any other questions, but lots of comments. Not seeing any other questions, so that's okay. But I hate to hijack your show here, Paulie, and it's been magnificent, mate.
G'day, guys.
I am going to hijack just very quickly so that the people that are watching get the news first. Android users, the app is on Play Store.
Yay!
The app is on Play Store. Jump on Play Store, do a search for Anzac Day 2020. You may need to scroll down a little bit because it hasn't been downloaded by anybody yet, but it has been released. It is now public. iOS. Sorry, mate, what was that?
When does the Apple one come? Because I've got an Apple phone.
Apple phone, pay the Apple tax.
Don't you start.
It's just pending release, mate. So they've all been uploaded. Apple can be a little finicky when it comes to releasing them to publish.
Well,
but we're doing a workaround just in case something goes horribly wrong with the Apple Store, and we're launching a website this week, which will also provide that stream and that same experience. So we've got it covered no matter what.
Yep. Guys, I'm going off for the evening.
No worries.
Thanks for coming on, Paulie.
Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it, and keep doing up the great work. It's fantastic.
Love your work too, mate. I want to see more train videos. I want to see more woodwork.
One more thing. Oh, I've done a heap of work on the trainers. It's just all fiddly stuff. So I'll be doing a video for that tomorrow. And also the prize winners for the tattoo competition, all the CDs got sent off on Wednesday. So they should have them in time now.
Magnificent.
Excellent.
Mate. They should arrive in the next day or so.
See you, mate. Bye-bye, Tia. Thank you.
No worries.
See ya.
Thanks, everybody.
Okay, now, before we go, I think this could be the app. Let's have a look. Where is it? Oh, no, it's hiding behind us. We may have to disappear. Have I got
That's
it?
all right.
Happening? Nah, it's there, but it's not going to happen today. So if there is nothing else, I will.
On the page now.
Cool. And I will pop the CD on and everyone can listen to that amazing song again.
Fantastic. Thanks, Tia. Thanks,
See you
listeners.
tomorrow.
See you later.
See ya.
There comes a time in every life, time to stand your ground, time to fight. And some you win, some you lose. You can't just walk away. A lesson learned in blood, the highest price to pay. Raise your glass to 100 years of freedom. Raise your glass to the men who took the fall. Raise your glass. Give thanks for this country. There's a generation never coming home. An English colonel made that careless call, with no regard for human life at all. And some took one step, some took two, not many walked away. The beaches flowed with blood, the highest price they paid. Raise your glass to 100 years of freedom. Raise your glass to the men who took the fall. Raise your glass. Give thanks for this country. There's a generation never coming home. 2,000 nations standing side by side. New Zealand and Australian men have died. 100 years have come and gone since we landed Sula Bay. Lest we forget the birth of Anzac Day. Raise your glass to 100 years of freedom. Raise your glass to the men who took the fall. Raise your glass. Give thanks for this country. There's a generation never coming. raise your glass to 100 years of Anzac. Raise your glass.